Okay, well, I guess we could go ahead and get started with those of us who are here. The one item I added to the agenda is around drive groups, and let's say I know Blaine, maybe others on the call are interested in the drive groups. But Blaine, do you want to just take that topic and um, work through it?
Um, yeah, I don't have all the notes down, but yeah, we need a way to have um, the ability to use drive groups to provision hosts using Rook. And Jan did work on a PR that will take a drive group specification in Ceph volume and apply it to a host. But he and Sebastian Wagner have been pushing back hard against having Ceph volume actually do host like host verification to make sure the drive group actually applies to the host, and want that pushed into Rook. However, given the nature of the placement spec in Ceph drive groups, that's not as simple anymore as doing a glob match. There's actually support for labels there, which I don't know work with Kubernetes yet, but I mean, it's only a matter of time until someone wants that feature, as well as lists versus globs, and that I don't think it's good for Rook to re-implement that logic itself. Nor do I think it's good for Rook to rely on Ceph internals in calling Python code directly. And since we want to separate the Ceph version from the Rook version a lot, especially so that Ceph can get bug fixes that Rook doesn't have to then implement, it also means that whatever Rook does here, it's going to have to call, right? It needs Ceph to do the work and to have the code and have the code fixes, and not Rook. And so something that I proposed in an email thread was to have a CLI command where Rook could query the Ceph manager effectively, and the Ceph manager then would do a kubectl get node information, and then given a drive group specification from Rook would tell whether the drive group spec applied to that node or not, and then that module would be able to use Ceph's internal drive logic and then report yes, no, or an error condition to Rook's query. The other option that Sebastian Wagner suggested was to use the Python library, which, as I explained, I don't think we should be doing because it's not a public-facing API, but we could use a command line tool that uses that library, which might be a little quicker than having the manager query node information, even though I think that Rook would still have to query that node information as it stands now. But then Rook would say, okay, this new Ceph tool, given this drive group and given this node information, including name, CIDR, the networking CIDR, and these labels, does this drive group apply to this node? I do tend to prefer the option where Rook merely says, here's the node name and here's the drive group to Ceph via the CLI, and then Ceph goes and actually looks at the node itself in order to minimize the amount of sort of API between Ceph and Rook. I don't think the second option is bad. and I think it will be fairly stable.
Again, the second option is where Rook calls a job that runs the script.
Yeah, that runs like effectively a Python script.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and if we go with the job, my initial thought was that I wonder if we could even run the job once to say, hey, kind of evaluate all nodes or somehow, um, so I don't have to call it. We don't have to call it again and again for each node. If you have a lot of nodes, that could be a lot of jobs for
Right.
starting.
Yeah. I mean, the problem there is that like Rook has to supply the like node information
Mm-hmm.
to do that job. I don't think the job would have permissions to like query Kubernetes to list nodes. Although, I mean, potentially, it would just have to return back some sort of JSON structure of result, I think, in order to be parsed properly. I don't know, maybe that's a future optimization.
Okay. Well, in any case, I think Sebastian and Jan would be good to talk through it with.
Yeah, I agree.
I think also the same as you claim. I think that the first option is the right one. Yes, to use directly the Ceph that we have, the Ceph cluster in order to get this information. And I think that there is something similar that you can test even in this moment. Apart of make a new command, there is a preview parameter when you apply an placement, or sorry, a drive group file spec. You can use the preview parameter in order to get a list of the things that are going to be done. So maybe you can take a look to this one. I think. Let me. In the Orchestrator CLI list of commands, in the section create OSDs, you have one of the commands is using, you can use a preview parameter. I don't know. It's just to take a look to see if it is okay for you or not. But in any case, I think that, to implement a new orchestrator command in order to get this information is not a bad idea. And it could avoid problems using an external script, okay, that could be more dangerous. Agree with you.
Yes, that sounds good. I guess then we'll take that offline. Or any other thoughts before we leave that topic?
I don't have any, no.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. All right. Well, nothing else has been added to the agenda for today. Do other people have things to bring up?
I do. You'll not have seen me before. My name is Zach Dover. I'm the docs guy that Sage hired last November. And Neha and Josh Durgan told me that I should attend this meeting. They've been introducing me into more and more meetings. And I am trying to write a Ceph ADM installation guide right now. When I was first hired, I wrote an installation guide based on Ceph deploy. It worked fine. And then like a week later, Ceph ADM didn't work anymore. And what we have right now is sort of a Frankenstein half original Ceph deploy guide that was crammed into the Procrustean bed of whatever already existed. And I would like to sometime in June get a working Ceph ADM installation guide going. So the reason that I came here was to ask who knows about network stuff during installation. Specifically, I want to talk about the skip mon network flag to whoever that is. And most of my questions are going to be of such specificity that we shouldn't deal with them in this meeting. Instead, I should make other meetings for discussions elsewhere. So install networking, that's what I need.
Yeah, I can't speak to Ceph ADM so much. Josh or somebody else?
Maybe I can help. And there is, I think,
Yeah.
that almost 8 people here that can talk about these kind of things. But apart of that, Zach, I have one question, okay? We have started to, you're from Red Hat?
No, I was
Susan.
hired. I mean, no, I work directly for the Ceph Foundation.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Well, in any case, I think that in this moment, for example, maybe it is worth to join efforts in this kind of things, okay? For example, in downstream in Red Hat, we have started to start a QA process and to generate documentation. Okay, so I will give you the contact of the person that is taking this in downstream Red Hat. Okay, and maybe it would be nice to have information from Susan. Okay.
Okay.
In the case of Red Hat is.
I am Zed Dover on IRC, and I'm in Ceph Devel, and Ceph Org. So.
Okay, can you put the information in the
Yeah, Zach, do you see the link to the meeting minutes on the pad.ceph.com?
Yeah, I've got them open right here. So,
okay, great. Yeah, if you want to just go ahead and type in your contact info there. I added a line for docs for Ceph ADM.
Con of the separation.
It's line 57.
Yep, I see it. I got it. Yep.
Okay. Or 60. Yep, it's being added.
All right, and like that's it for me. I have tons of other questions, but this is not the time. So thank you very much, everybody. Sorry if this was impertinent.
No, welcome to the meeting.
Just another suggestion. We have the IRC channel, okay, in the channel is Orchestrators, okay. So I think that you can is another good source in order to ask questions.
Oh, I'm in there. I've
okay, perfect.
That led me to this. So thank you though.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, Sebastian would be a good one to talk to there as well. He's just on holiday today.
Sebastian Wagner.
Yeah.
I talk to him every day. So.
Already? Oh, cool. Perfect.
The soul of Ceph ADM, a part of Sage.
Sounds good. Okay. Anybody else have a topic to bring up then? All right. That sounds like that'll be about it for today. So happy Monday, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. See you.
Bye.